Hey guys, welcome back to Running and Research with Chris. Today we're doing something a little bit different. So on my goal of achieving a sub 20 minute 5k, I decided to do a 3k training run. In my mind, this needed to be around 350 per kilometer pace in order for me to have a chance at holding 359 pace for 5 kilometers. So that's the ultimate goal of this training run. 350 per kilometer over 3 kilometers. We've got 11 minutes and 30 seconds to hit as our target. I'm running this with my twin brother Adam. He used to be a 400 meter sprinter about 7 or 8 years ago. He was a 47 second flat guy. So he obviously ran at a pretty high level, and he can always kind of just jump back into running and run some ridiculous times compared to most of the population. So he's been running again for about 6-7 weeks, and he said that he would pace me through this. And honestly, it's so much easier when I have someone beside me, especially someone I know who's going to motivate me and pull me along when the times get tough. So we're probably about 400 meters in right now, and during this first kilometer we actually set off very quick, and both our GPSs were saying about 340 pace. So we both backed off at about 100 meters into this run, and the whole way down this stretch my watch was saying 402 pace. Now I know there's a big dead zone here with these trees on the right where the GPS kind of steals a wee bit of time off you, but I was a wee bit nervous that we had set off too slow. And then in the second 500 meters of this first kilometer, the time did start to come down a bit. It was dropping to 356 and 355. I was still a little bit worried that we had settled in at a pace that was just a little bit too slow. However, I was just trusting the process. I was putting my trust in Adam, and I'm happy that we didn't go out too hot, and we just needed to get this first kilometer out of the way and settle in. At this point, I was feeling great. We actually swapped shoes for this run. Adam is wearing my Alpha Flies and I am wearing his Vaporflies. This is my first time wearing a pair of Vaporflies, and they do feel very different to the Alpha Flies. They're not as spongy, they don't feel like they absorb as much impact. However, they really do feel like they just keep your legs ticking over, and that has been a bit of an issue for me recently. My legs have felt tired over this training block, and it's been quite tough for me to settle in the runs, and sometimes the first kilometer feels horrendous because my quads feel heavy, my legs feel like lead. But these Vaporflies really seem to just keep my legs ticking over and allow me just to look ahead of myself and just keep focusing on running at the same pace. We're just coming up to the end of this first kilometer now. It's roughly at this corner here before the bollards, and as you're about to see, we do go through this first kilometer slightly slow. So 352, we're down by 2 seconds already. However, we're about to come down into the towpath, and there's a slight downhill. You can see Adam has just sped up in front of me there, going through so that I can follow him behind him, single line, so nobody gets pushed out. And I just catch him coming down this slope, and from here we just hold it. I'm right on the back of him. We were a bit downwind there, running down into the towpath. We know when we come around this corner there might be a slight headwind or crosswind, but it is pretty well protected. So at this point, still feeling very comfortable. I know I've got just over a mile to go. I've been doing loads of 1 mile intervals, and I'm quite comfortable with being able to hurt over 1 mile. And I have to say, I love running this towpath. I love the trees, I love the privacy, I love the fact that it's flat, and for me, that's what I'm about when it comes to running. I love running splits. I love the numbers. I do also love getting out with people, having a chat, but when it comes to targets, when it comes to goals, I want a flat race. I want to hit times, because that's just what's always motivated me as an athlete. Anything to do with the gym or fitness, I want to hit certain numbers. I want to limit the variables. I want it to just be me versus the clock when it comes to running, and then that way I can directly compare runs to each other. If I'm constantly running flat, yes, the wind might affect the performance sometimes. However, I mainly run along this towpath, so I get great feedback from my performance, and it really lets me gauge how well I'm doing compared to previous runs. We're just coming up now to the 1 mile mark. Went through 1 mile just over 6 minutes, so I know 1.4k left. Just hold on, get through this second kilometre. We did speed up during this kilometre, and I am feeling it, because we ran that 3:52 and we came down that ramp. We accelerated a bit, and we've just held that pace throughout this second kilometre. You can see I'm struggling to stay on Adam's shoulder. He's doing his best to average out this pace at 3:50, so I'm kind of using him as like that ghost marker that you would have in your car racing games. I know if I can just stay somewhere close to him within a couple of meters, then I've got a chance, because I'm always going to be able to drop a bit of a kick in the last couple hundred meters to regain any ground that I've lost. And that is kind of how I like to finish my runs. You know, I don't mind dropping off in the penultimate kilometre so that I can then really full send the last one. So just coming up to the end of this second kilometre. At this point, I'm definitely starting to feel it. However, I know there's a good chance that I'm going to achieve this goal. So you'll be able to see the time I go through coming up on the screen very shortly. So we've got 3:46 second kilometre, and if you're a runner yourself, you will know that you have 6 seconds per kilometre. It might not sound like a lot, but it feels like a lot. It really does. So I felt that second kilometre. I really haven't ran any mileage much quicker than that second kilometre this whole training season over the last 5 months. The Vaporfly is still doing a great job. I feel like I'm just moving forward. However, my heart rate at this point is sitting at about 190. It's very close to my max. I only get to about 195, 196 probably. So I'm really starting to get fatigued here. I'm the kind of person that when they get this uncomfortable in a workout, I do have that default of backing off. It's something that I've really been trying to work on, my mentality during these runs. Yes, my lungs are on fire. Yes, my heart rate's sky high. It feels uncomfortable, but my legs are still moving, so just keep pushing forward. It's like that quote, somebody puts a gun to your head, you run away from it, or you can just scream and push your head into the gun. And this is what I'm trying to do when it gets to this point during these runs. I'm about 75-80% through this run. I know once I get out of this clear area and get into the trees again further down this path, that it's only a few hundred meters left to go. I'm slightly dropping off Adam now. He's pulling ahead. He occasionally has a wee look back. I know that I should still have a kick at the end. However, this is really beginning to hurt. You'll notice I'm looking at my watch a bit more, and I'm really just want that finish line to come as soon as possible. There I go. I look again. I'm shocked that I've only ran 80 meters in that time span. I just want to get to the finish line. We're coming into these trees. I've dropped off Adam by another 2 or 3 meters again. This is me really maxing out, really redlining this performance. Now I've only got 250, 300 meters to go. Adam has a wee look back here, I think. He shouts at me. Should be able to hear that on the clip. That's kind of when I knew I had to go. I remember checking my watch at this point, and I was sitting at 3:54 pace. There's Adam now shouting and waving me up. I was sitting at 3:54 pace, which had brought my average to 3:51. And to be honest, with that mentality that I was talking about, I default to backing off. I kind of thought 3:51, that's fine, that's close enough. And then I remembered, no, that's not the goal. That's not the mindset that we can have here. Push on, Chris. It's 200 meters. Catch Adam. Just keep getting closer to him. Just reel him in. You can do it. You can see I'm much more ragged here running. The arms are really working. Adam looks real smooth in front of me. I know I just have to get past him. I just have to get this last 50, 60 meters done. Just keep working. If I keep working, I can get to that 350 kilometer. That's the goal. We're just coming up to the finish now. Still driving forward, waiting for that watch to beep. There it goes, 350 flat. 11 minutes and 28 seconds for the 3K. And it gave me a 3:49 overall average. So guys, just got done with the 3K time trial and absolutely delighted. The goal was 350 per kilometer. I knew it would hurt. Managed to go 3:49 per kilometer and go through 3K in 11 minutes 28 seconds. It's filled me with a lot of confidence coming into this sub 20 minute 5K. Shout out to my twin brother Adam, the maniac. Dropped the hammer at 3K when I stopped to go sub 340 kilometers for the last two, to run an 18:44 PB in the 5K. And that was with having to stop and turn and come back on himself. So big runs today, and really looking forward now to getting out in the next few weeks and attacking this 5K.